Now let's have a look at the next part of that question. So in the first video, we were doing plot and label, and now we are looking at the second part of that question, which has to do with modulus. So in this question, we are given number 1, 2, and 3, and we plot them. And now let's have a look at the second part. Work out the modulus of Z1. That is find, and then we have a description. And basically that's what it means. When we have those brackets that are just a straight line, that's what it means. That is the modulus. But what is modulus? So modulus is a distance from the complex number to our point 0, 0. So that length, that's what it is. Basically, we are finding how far away is that complex number from the point 0, 0. And how do we do that calculation? So when we have to do that, we take the real number to the power of 2 plus the imaginary part to the power of 2, and that under the square root. Now, our complex numbers come always in the form a for real number plus b number that stand beside I and then I. So that length is calculated. We take that number that is real to the power of 2 plus the number that stand beside I, not the I, to the power of 2, and that under the square root. Now that formula is not in your table. You need to know that. So here, because we are doing Z1, we are calculating that distance here. So our Z1, that was minus 1 plus 2I. So that is my real value. That's my A. And then that one here that stand beside I, that's my B value. Okay, so let's apply that to our formula. So that means it is a square root. A is minus 1, and that is taken to the power of 2, plus, and B is 2, and that is taken to the power of 2. We put that in the calculator, we press equal, and we have square root of 5, and they are telling us to leave it in the Cert form. Okay, let's have a look at next part of this question. So next part is saying there is a fourth number. And that is the information that is given to us. So we have to understand what that description means. So what that means is that the distance from that fourth number to 0.00 is less than the distance of that first number to 0, 0. So we know that was the distance here. We calculated that is square root of 5. Has to be less than that. How do we got the square root of 5? That was minus 1 taken to the power of 2 and 2 taken to the power of 2. So if I want to get a number that is lower than that, I have to go with the lower number than that. So how about we go with 1 plus 1? How about that? That will surely should give me a less value. So again, let's do the calculation. So that 4 would be what? A, meaning 1 to the power of 2, plus B1 again to the power of 2 under the square root. So we put that in the calculator and we press equal, and our answer here is square root of 2. Now, I'm saying, but how do I know whether that value is less? Well, let's change that to a decimal. So if we change that to a decimal, that is 1.414. And this one, if we change square root of 5 into decimal, that is 2.236. So this distance is more than 2 units, while this distance is just 1.4 units. So yes, that is good complex number to give it here.